Good morning. I'm parked on the A708 a few miles just outside of Moffat. Today I'm walking Corbett's 21 and Corbett's 22, which is Hart Fell and White Coomb. White Coomb translates to white corrie. So there's a slight track leaving the roadside, which I'm going to follow for a short while, and then I'm going to cut right and straight up the side there until I get onto the tops, and I'm going to follow the ridge line, the first Corbett. Yeah, so there's the track I was following, and there's a very faint, almost like a trod path veering off. In fact, there's a chap halfway up the hill ahead of me, probably doing the same route. Just looking back down at where we came up from, it's quite a steady grass bank, quite steep, very faint track, making it reasonably easy to navigate so far. So we've got a variety of small tops to contend with. I'm at spot height 494 here. That top just ahead is 720. I think it's called Saddle Yoke. And right over there in the background is White Coomb, which is going to be the second Corbett of the day. Way away. You see there's some mountain goats scurrying down the side there. Huge horns on them. So we're at the top of Saddle Yoke, just dropping down a bit, and then we're going to climb up to 745 up to Upper Saddle Yoke, the next top. So just coming out the cloud, and that's Upper Saddle Yoke there. It's quite intimidating, doesn't it? So we're just dropping off, and we're going to drop down to about 600 metres before we start climbing again up to Hart Fell Rig, and then on to Hart Fell itself, which is Hart Fell's 807 metres. So I think that's Hart Fell Rig over there, just in the clouds, and Hart Fell is beyond. So we're still dropping down to this B-lap. We'll skirt round, and then we'll head up that shoulder over there to Hart Fell Rig. Then we're going to retrace our steps, and we're going to head that way over to White Coomb, which is over there in the clouds. So this is the start of the climb up Hart Fell Rig. It's been a bit squelchy, but we've had a lot of dry weather, so I would imagine in wet weather times it'll be very squelchy. So I'm at Hart Fell Rig. You see where we've been? Over there. That's where we've got to go later. But at the minute we're heading this way, and that's Hart Fell up at the top over there. So I'm just going to follow this fence line really, and follow it round pretty much up to the summit. So here we are at Hart Fell. The weather's just come in, what a shame. What a shame. Hart Fell. So we're just dropping off of Hart Fell. Clouds are lifting again. I'm just cut across over there. That's upper Saddle Yoke and Saddle Yoke, which we were up over earlier. We will be heading back that way on the way down. But now we're heading that way into the clouds again, White Coomb. So the plan is I'm going to follow the fence going up the other side over there and cut across onto that next moor top, again follow the next fence. I'm going to skirt round right the way effectively to the top of White Coomb. But it looks a bit boggy down there, so I'm probably going to give that bit of a swamp a swerve. I'll give that a wide berth and then meet the fence probably halfway up that hillside. Yeah, so I've avoided that swamp, if you like. I gave it quite a wide berth, and I've cut back round and back up pathless, following this fence post here. I'm going to follow the fences for a while now. So there is actually a very faint trod following this fence line. So although it's quite lumpy, the grass, it's making it somewhat easier underfoot. So I've got to this junction of the fences, and I'm going to follow a left, drop down to that beelac and then follow the wall up and then across the various tops to White Coomb. And then when we come back, I'm going to head that way and follow the fence line. We've been following this fence here, so it's quite a significant junction, this one. Very, very squelchy and boggy. You can see all the bog cutting out. Just got to watch your footing. There's some big pools. I have to say, it's quite rather steep, that. It's been a bit of a pull up, that one. Just follow the wall round. So we're just coming up to Firth Hope Ridge. It's about 800 metres, and if you look over there at the top, that's White Coomb over there, 827. So again, we're following this other wall. As you can see over there, there's a wall which pretty much takes us to the top. It's a story of walls today. So here we are, White Coomb. Wow, what a view as well. Hart fell over there. We were up there earlier. Right, I'm going to retrace my steps back to that junction at the wall, maybe a couple of miles back, across that bog. I'm just looking across at upper saddle yoke and saddle yoke from a different aspect. It's quite a spectacular mountain, really, isn't it? Well, we've got to go back over them before we go home. So that's Hartfell over there, where we were earlier today. We're dropping down this steep bank. We're going to cross that bog at the bottom. We're going to follow the wall up the other side to that junction with the fence, and then we're going to try and cut across the moortop to pick up the saddle yoke. So here we are back at this junction of fences. If you remember earlier today, we followed this fence line down and then we went that way through the bog up there and over to White Coomb. Well, we've retraced our steps and now we're going to follow this fence. This should take us to upper saddle yoke, this fence, so we'll follow this fence line, see where we end up. Wow, White Coomb over there. This is pathless now, and can't go wrong because you're following this fence line. It's a little bit rough underfoot. There's saddle yoke, just skirting the underside here of upper saddle yoke. It's quite steep, as you can see. Pointless going over that top again. So I'm just still following this fence, and it'll take me down to the little beelap between the two. So here we are, saddle yoke. Pan round. That's Hartfell. You couldn't see it this morning. Way over there. Pan round again, and again you couldn't see this morning. White Coomb, way over there. There we go. You can see where I parked the car. Not far to go now. Just down this grassy bank. The dogs are tired. I think they've had a good day.